It's Jamaican and we're Jamaican for economy. No more breed the last thing. Revelation set. Eat what we grow what we eat. It is good for our economy.
That's right. Welcome to another AgroBuzz, our weekly agricultural program, right here on Durain's Coffee Break. Now, as the hotter summer months draw to a close, we're on the verge of new seasons, like back to school, autumn, stuff like that. And of course, we do know that the agricultural sector is impacted by the various weather conditions, and they have seasons of the year. Interestingly, the fisheries subsector is also affected by seasons. We have the lobster closed season, for example, and we have the conch closed season. Now, this morning to tell us more about these seasons is Mr. Ricardo Morris, Fisheries Officer in the Fisheries Division. Good morning to you, Mr. Morris, and welcome to AgroBuzz.
Thanks, Doreen, and good morning to you and your listeners.
Right, so tell me, why do we have these open and closed seasons in the fisheries industry? People need to understand.
Okay, well, open and closed seasons are important fisheries management tools, which help us to control the level or amount of fishing that takes place of a particular species. And for us, that includes lobster and conch. Now, closed seasons allow for a period of no fishing, corresponding usually with the peak reproductive period of that species, which allows for a replenishment of the stock following a period of fishing. Now, closed season can either be a fixed period of time or a flexible period declared based on specific management of that species. Now here, fishing, and in some cases the utilization of any part of that species is strictly prohibited by law, and thus any person found in contravention of the closed season regulation can be prosecuted. An open season, on the other hand, as the name suggests, is an open period where licensed fishers and other users are allowed to exploit the resource.
Okay, now we have the lobster closed season. Can you remind us when that is for those who love the lobster?
Sure. The closed season for lobster is April 1 to June 30th every year. And of course, during this period, no spiny lobster should be caught, bought, or sold, and any person or establishment found in breach may be prosecuted.
And the conch closed season, when is that?
Well, the conch closed season is a little bit different from the lobster. Rather than a fixed annual period as exists for lobster, the closed season for conch is legislated each year and made public through gazette or public notice. That being said, the closed season for conch normally runs from August 1 to March 31st, a period of approximately 8 months. And for this year, however, the closed season commences on April 1 and ends on April 1 of 2018.
Oh boy, a long time, man. So let me ask you now, suppose I go into a restaurant and they do have lobster and conch and it's the closed season, but they had it in the freezer locked away and they caught that long before the season closed. Would they be in trouble if you went there to check?
Well, if they would have declared before what they have had, there's a period in which that you can declare what you have in your possession, and you would come and do the necessary inspections, and you'll have your certificate, and you would actually have a period of time in which to dispose of that product.
Okay. So tell us about the regulations, the whole regulation regarding the closed season. You keep mentioning people will be caught and problems. Just give us a whole regulation. People totally understand.
Okay, under the Fisheries Industry Act regulation of 2000 regarding closed seasons, every licensed fisher and person in charge of a commercial storage facility, hotel, or eating establishment must declare the quantity of conch and the state of it that they have in their possession, as I kind of alluded to before. There are two types of declarations. One for fishers. Now, they must submit declarations 7 days prior to the commencement of the closed season. In other words, for this year's declaration must be submitted no later than the 25th of August for the September 1 commencement of the closed season. And secondly, for persons in charge of a commercial storage facility, hotel or eating establishment, they have up to 7 days from the start of the closed season in which to declare the conch that they have in storage. So for this year, it will be until no later than September 8th.
Okay.
And once the product in storage has been declared and inspected and what we call a certificate of storage is issued, the operator is allowed to sell, process, or otherwise dispose of the said product within 21 days. That is, for instance, by September 22 of this year's close season, all conch in storage would have to be disposed of by this time.
Okay, all right. So you're caught red-handed. You shouldn't be doing that. There must be some sanctions and penalties involved.
Yes, of course. Breach of the close season regulation may lead to a fine or imprisonment of up to 12 months.
Ew.
In addition to seizure of the product.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What's the level of conch production in Jamaica?
Well, on average over the last 5 years, production of conch has averaged between 450 to 550 metric tons of processed meat, and that includes both local consumption and amounts exported.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And do we export? You mentioned the export. How much do we export?
Well, the vast majority of our production is exported.
Okay.
And to the EU and a few other markets in the region. However, each year a quantity of around 50 metric tons is locally consumed through hotels, restaurants, householders, and of course, for smaller persons like the popular conch soup persons.
Mm-hmm. Yes, man. You like conch soup, though?
Yes, I do. It's one of my favorites.
Okay. So what's your perspective, Mr. Morris, of the future in this industry?
Well, Jamaica is in the fortunate position of having one of the best managed conch fisheries in the region, if not the world. That said, however, the management is not perfect, and there are still many areas that need improvement and further development. The enforcement of our fisheries laws, I would give as one very important example. But once we continue to properly implement and develop our management regime, inclusive of closed seasons, closed areas, and other management tools, Jamaica will continue to reap the benefit of conch and our other fisheries resources far into the future.
Okay, well, I hope people listen this morning. There's a closed season for lobster, the closed season for conch, and if you get caught fishing, you're going to be in serious trouble. Up to 12 months imprisonment and a fine as well. So listen now, you got to follow what they have to say. It's for also the reproduction and make sure that they're back in for production, right? Because if you keep fishing, you'll diminish.
Yes, exactly. They need a chance to recover.
All right. Okay, Mr. Ricardo Morris, Fisheries Officer, thank you so much. Go on and enjoy. You can enjoy your conch soup now. We're still not in the close season yet, right?
No, it's not close season yet, so I can enjoy it for a little bit more.
Okay, then. Please do. And remember me when you're doing that, yeah?
Okay, I will have your cup ready.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ricardo Morris, Fisheries Officer, telling us about the conch and the closed season, which runs from September 1, 2017 through to March 31 next year. Let us all comply with the regulations which govern our fisheries industry as we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Now keep listening to AgroBuzz for more information on the work of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries. And please visit their websites at moa.gov.jm and mic.gov.jm. And you may also follow them on Twitter and also on Facebook. See you next week for another AgroBuzz.
Buy your Jamaican produce when you sit in the market. Buy from the lady with the basket, lad. You know, for she have to walk it slow.